back, everybody. This is Drawing While Talking. In the previous video, I showed some planning for an art piece that I want to create that is going to be focused on Data from Star Trek The Next Generation, specifically focused around the Season 2 episode, The Royale. So in this video, I will be showing a practice drawing of Data while I discuss my thoughts on the episode, The Royale. Then in the next video, I will be doing a color test of that drawing. I'm kind of turning this into a series. I really want to show the entire process, sketching out my concepts, practice sketching, color testing, before moving on and showing me drawing and coloring the final piece. Turns out that takes a while. So I decided to break up those videos into separate segments to watch at your convenience. I hope you'll come along and feel free to sketch along with me and let me know your thoughts on the episode The Royale in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Now let's get started as I sketch Data. Okay, so I am not an expert at drawing. I am very new. I keep trying different things to see what works best for me to draw a head, draw a face, draw a body. Bodies are so hard for me. Like once you get to the shoulders, it's like arms, legs, they terrify me, especially legs. I don't know why. I just can never get them to look exactly right. So as you'll be able to see here, I will not be able to see. I will not be drawing legs today, so I don't have to worry about that. But I will be drawing a torso. I'll be drawing a hand. I also want to practice the hand before I go into the finished piece. Can I actually talk while drawing? At least, yeah. See, this is like kind of maybe the Loomis method. Can you actually see that at all on the screen? No. Why does the paper have to be so white? Okay, you know, we are going to try. We'll try this. We'll see if it gets better once I start darkening the lines. I might just edit to jump ahead to where I have some darker lines, but again, I really just want to show the entire process here. So I am going to get a better lighting system. I do have a couple ideas to have bright lights, but not shadows. Wish I could have an overhead view, but that's not in the cards right now. In the cards, gambling, Data, poker. Okay. So again, I have some different ways I go about this. There's the Loomis method, which I haven't really studied. Basically, I just kind of do a mishmash of things. So I like to try to figure out the hairline. So this actually goes down a little and then kind of straight across and then up. Takes a lot of adjustments to kind of get where you want to go, but I kind of really like to start off by blocking in the hairline and the forehead. Figure out the shape of their forehead. I could do that right now. Kind of put in those lines, like the center of the face line. Put in his eye line, so he kind of has his head tilted. Not too much though, so maybe just kind of like that. So like this is where the end of his eyebrow would be. That's here. His cheekbone. I like to draw in the eye mask, as they call it. You know, cut into his eye line here. I love drawing cheekbones. It's kind of funny the different things that you enjoy drawing. Like, I really love drawing the neck. I have no idea why, but it just is fun, and you know, really starts to bring things together and make it look like a person when you add the neck. And I really like drawing the cheekbone outline, kind of getting that figured out. Helps me find where the jaw goes. Okay, you can see this kind of better here. Okay, so let's see if this is where his brows are. This is where his nose will go. Okay, so his nose goes about here. That's another thing I do with noses, is I draw them in completely different ways. I mean, start off drawing them in completely different ways from drawing to drawing. I don't have a set way I draw them. I frequently draw them just like a circle to start off with. And he does have, so I want to get that in here. He's got this big circle. Data has a pretty, kind of like Picard, Data has a pretty prominent nose, but a lot of that exists within this circle at the end. Then we kind of want to do his nostril. Another thing about drawing with this kohl erase color pencil is you can erase. I frequently, you know, when you first start out drawing, you just want to erase everything. You want everything to be completely perfect, and you draw with dark lines. But I don't do that anymore. I mean, sometimes I do. I mean, I still want everything to be perfect. I try not to erase more often than not. Unless something is like completely in the way or drawn really dark. I try not to erase because it just kind of helps. It helps you just keep moving, and using those mistakes kind of can lead to something better. Okay, so his brows are pretty close to his eye here. I don't think I will keep the reference on the screen, but I will add it in from time to time, just so you can, you know, see what I see. Okay. So his eye does start kind of there, but actually is bigger. He also, Data has a pretty defined eyelid mark. Okay, here we're erasing. Because the end of his eye actually is pretty close to here. Okay. And yeah, he's got a pretty defined eyelid mark. Little mark down there. So to talk a little bit about the episode itself, it's a season 2 episode of The Next Generation. And, you know, a lot of people, basically the main fan base, kind of disregards season 1 and season 2, except for like a few episodes. There's a few episodes. There's another data focused episode, that A Measure of a Man, that everyone always is like, oh, this is one of the best episodes ever. But I love season 1 and season 2, especially I think season 1 season 1 and season 7 are actually both a lot alike in the way that they, okay, see, here's the thing, you just gotta carve down, you gotta, as you start to add in more features, you just gotta start to carve into the base that you put down. But yeah, season 1 and season 7 are a lot alike. In terms of creativity, I mean, there are definitely way better stories in the other seasons, you know, better acting, just better. But season 1 and season 7 just had this thing about them that they just tried a bunch of crazy things that may not work, but when, you know, sometimes they did work, sometimes they didn't. And get Data's ear here. Pretty big ear. Ear placement is tough for me. Like where exactly it goes, like how far away is an ear from the eyes and stuff. And, you know, you see it at different angles. You see it at like this particular angle here, and it doesn't look that far. But like if you turned into a profile view, it would seem completely different. So I get confused exactly about how far away from the eyes it is supposed to be. So that's why, yeah, the hairline really helps. And then you put that, you know, like how far away from that is from here. And I think I actually might have it a little too far. Like his cheekbone is, yeah, about here. And there's not, I mean, I guess, you know, maybe I do have it right. Maybe I do. Because there is this space here. Yeah, okay. But it does kind of come down diagonally, his hair. I'm actually putting more effort into this than I usually would. I usually am just kind of like, whatever it is close enough. But, you know, I'm trying to put more effort in. You know, put more effort in for anyone watching. And whether or not people watch, that's okay, because I love to talk. I love to talk about Star Trek and a bunch of other things. And I don't always have someone to talk to, at least someone who is going to be interested. Anyways, again, season 1 has a lot of crazy storylines, and some don't work, but some do. Then season 2, they definitely got more. They found their sea legs, they found their space legs in a lot of ways. And something that I do not see ever being appreciated is how funny season 2 is. And it's not like, okay, so no one really thinks, well, you know, some people might, I can't say what other people think, but you know, the Next Generation isn't known, I would say, for its humor. It is known for its morality plays, which all Star Trek is, and it's known for its drama, you know, character pieces, which is wonderful about it. I love that aspect. But it's not really known exactly for being funny, haha. They do have their moments, but I think it gets less of that as time goes on. They become a little more, I don't know, not very reactive. You know, there's some stuff, especially in season 1, where they were trying to be funny. They like had Data and Geordi at the front of the bridge, always making some sort of commentary, like side commentary. Sometimes that Picard even had to tell them to shut up. And that one, I don't really like that kind of commentary. It wasn't that funny to me. But in season 2, they really start to have this type of humor that is, again, it's not, this is a joke, look at this joke, it's a really ha funny joke, which for me was kind of what that, you know, peanut gallery at the front of the bridge thing was in season 1. Whereas in season 2, it was more naturalistic humor. And sorry, focusing. How far does that go? Well, we'll just kind of block it in. Okay. And I guess you can see it on camera. I'm not checking the camera as much. Maybe I should, to make sure things are going okay. And I'm sorry, again, that this is a side angle view and not turned. I could try to turn it. Yeah, I could turn it more. And I will show, you know, more close-up shots here and there. But again, this is more following me actually drawing. Get his chin here. So chins have been so, like, they started off being so hard for me to draw, and so, like, I didn't really like drawing them, and they always just looked weird. I would try to go in, I'm not actually gonna press down, but I would try to go in and carve out the exact, go slow, carve out the exact line of the jaw and the cheek here, and find the chin and go like this, and just try to do that. Whereas now I start off just by doing, like, right below his bottom lip, just do a really light circle to kind of get the size. And his at this angle, gonna be more over here. That really helps me kind of get that shape in mind, and then I start to carve things out. Like his goes down pretty far past here. Okay, sticks out a little again, and then pretty defined chin, pretty square. You know, they say different face shapes and stuff. They have, like, definitions, and it's like, I don't know. They all kind of look, I don't always know how to define them. To say, oh yeah, this is a square jaw, or this is a more rounded jaw. But I think his is more square, and it, like, goes out pretty far, but maybe not that far. No? Yeah. Okay. So it would go about there. Okay. Get that shadow in there. Do this side of the neck. I love this part. Again, it's weird what you find that you enjoy drawing. I enjoy drawing the neck, and I really like shading the neck and putting in like the different lines and stuff. And they got away with a lot with Data that, they didn't shy away from the fact that, he was made to emulate humanity. So it's not like, well, why does Data have skin folds? Well, he was made like that. So he's not just a stiff robot. He has that underneath. But a heart of gold, just like his skin. Anyways, what was I saying with Data? Oh, right, the humor of season 2. So, especially, okay, so it's not pointed out and laugh humor. I mean, I'm gonna point it out after the fact. So there is this scene in a season 2 episode called Loud as a Whisper. They take some guy to a planet with 2 warring peoples, and they're supposed to make them make nice. So they're setting up this conference area, getting everything prepared. And so the negotiator that they brought along with them says, when the warring factions get there, and the Starfleet crew, they're just there making things happen. They're not supposed to interfere. And so, part of the away team is Riker and Worf. Worf is there to set up security measures. But they are instructed to not react aggressively, even if provoked. And Riker just looks at Worf, and it's not like a pointed look, like, haha, let's look at this kind of thing. He just looks at him. And Worf looks at Riker, and then Riker turns away, and then Worf kind of like turns back again. He's like, wait, why do you look at me? Like that type of thing. So it's that kind of thing that's like, you don't even know if that was written into the script, like if that was a joke that was written into the script, or if it was just the actor, Michael Dorn, just reacting as Worf would. Because Worf is like, he's the Klingon, he's the aggressive one. And so he would be the one to need that kind of instruction. But again, you're not sure if that was a joke that was written in. It just is there, it lives, it's natural. And there's so many examples of that in season 2 of The Next Generation. And there's some of that in this episode as well, the Royale. So it was written by Tracy Torme. And he changed his name on the credit. He changed it. I don't remember what it is. Bill something. I might put that on the screen. But his original script was completely different, and then it was rewritten by the head writer / showrunner. I think this goes out further. Okay, this is part of drawing again. Just light lines, figuring things out, just refining. You know, and at this angle, you're not going to have a really harsh jawline, but more shadow. That's another thing I love. I love shading, especially love shading necks. It really just starts to bring this realistic 3D nature to a drawing. You know, when it all just starts to come together. Okay, so Tracy Torme wrote the episode, but his script was heavily rewritten by the showrunner, Maurice Hurley. Getting the eyes in here, oh, we're finding Data. We're finding him. I gave him a little bit darker, thicker eyebrows, but I might keep those. See, his eyebrows, in the reference picture I have, his eyebrows are kind of darker, at least from this angle. But a lot of times with Data, his eyebrows are kind of under his makeup. So it looks kind of more whitish. You don't see them as much. But, you know, eyebrows are fun. And darker, bigger eyebrows, you know, kind of fun. Add more definition. Really like that. Anyways, so Tracy Torme's script was heavily rewritten, and he did not like that. And that led to him leaving the show. So apparently his initial script was kind of mainly focused on, okay, so if you don't really know the episode, they find this wreckage, this debris of a ship in the orbit of this planet that's really far away from Earth, or at least, you know, in some terms really far away from Earth. I don't know how far away it would be, like, for the Enterprise itself to travel, but, you know, this debris that they find is from a ship that left Earth in like 2033, somewhere around there. Well, okay, somewhere in the range of 2033 to 2072, I think they said, because they beam up this piece of debris that has an American flag on it and the word NASA. And it had 52 stars on there. So they said it had to have been between 2033 and 2072, which is interesting to note, because you would think that would mean that in 2033 it would have gone to 52 states. And then in 2072 went to 53 states, but maybe not to 53 states, but a disbandment maybe of the United States. I'm not sure of all the fictional history, but you know, when they become United Earth, you know, even before the Federation existed, even before the Federation existed, they became United Earth. So, you know, countries, I think the whole idea of separate countries, separate governments was disbanded. So it's possible that they even stopped really counting them as states. I mean, they still call them different states as you go on. And there's like in Voyager, you see a New Zealand prison colony. So they still call it New Zealand. They still call San Francisco, where Starfleet headquarters is. And different states like Florida, you see that one get mentioned. But it's possible that technically they weren't considered states anymore, like territories, something under a specific government. Anyways, so they found this, and they found this ship, and I don't know why I'm putting in all this shading and dark lines, because I want to remove a good portion of this. Well, maybe not, since it's just a test, but I want to see as much as possible. And maybe I should put in some of his uniform here. I have to practice some of his uniform too, because with the, I don't know if I have his neck turned enough, and I don't want to take up too much of the paper. I want to, still practice data some more. But I do have to, I guess I do have to do some color options for the uniform. And it will be a season 2 uniform, so I'll have to have that little blue thing that goes up over the collar here. And then some of the black, and then the yellow. And his comm badge, I'll have to do that. Let's see, how's it looking for you guys here? Yeah. Pretty good. I think it looks good over here. I'm pretty happy with how this is looking. I usually have a lot of trouble getting to some of these points and getting things accurate, especially the eye placement. But maybe it's because I'm trying harder. Okay. I was worried that I wouldn't have, like, I would say all that I wanted to about the episode, and then not have anything to say for the rest of the thing. But I think it's working pretty well. That obviously I get distracted, talk about something else, and then I have to find out where I was, what I was saying. So it could take a while to even say what I wanted to say, so I'm pretty good with that. Makes me feel more comfortable that I'm not running out of things to say. And hopefully keeps things interesting and also not too discombobulated, I don't want people to be all like, oh my god, he's starting to say something, but who knows when he's going to finish saying that. Some sort of comm badge here. Not exactly at the right angle perspective, blah blah blah, but that doesn't really matter right now. Anyways. Okay, so they find this debris. It leads them down to the planet, where they find a pocket of breathable air within this toxic atmosphere. And so it leads them into this casino, this 20th century style casino. Now, to me, it looks like a casino out of the 60s, and maybe it is. That's part of the 20th century. They then find themselves trapped in this casino. And so one of the members of the crew of this ship that they found the debris of in the atmosphere, he was also trapped in this casino, and he is dead by the time that they get there and find him. He's been dead for hundreds of years. But initially, he wasn't dead in Tracy Torme's original script. He was alive, and it mainly focused on him and kind of his whole thing about being trapped. And so there's this old style casino that has been created for him. So their ship, it's not even clear exactly what happened to the ship, and that's part of the whole idea of the episode. It's kind of this mystery, trying to figure out this mystery, and you don't get all the answers at all. And I actually really like a lot of that you don't get all the answers. You don't know. So the ship, something happened to it, broke up in the atmosphere, and there were these aliens that for some reason felt responsible, and maybe they were. And so this guy, this member of the crew, was the only survivor of this accident. And so they, out of supposed guilt, created this hotel for him, the Hotel Royale, which was based off of a book that the aliens found in the ship, a book that someone had brought along for a long trip. But it was this really bad kind of old style, like mystery romance novel. It starts off with "It was a dark and stormy night," which has become like a cliche type of thing. And I wonder if the person who first ever wrote "It was a dark and stormy night," if they, like, in the afterlife or wherever they are, kind of just are annoyed that their entire claim to fame is just something that they wrote, and probably at the time was like something different and cool, and now it's not. But Troy, who is reading the book with Picard at one point, she's like, may get better. But the aliens created this basically a holodeck. You don't exactly find out what it is. Because there's people in there. There's a whole bunch of different people that are based off of the characters. And they don't give off life signs, but they are still there. Their sensors show that they are there, but they just don't have life signs. So, are they robots? Are they holograms? What are they? We don't know. So, whatever it is, a holodeck program or what, that kind of just replays this existence, this book. It's replaying this book over and over. It's just kind of a cool idea that, it can't have a distinct personality beyond what was written for anyone. Okay, I think I need to move on to some colors here. I think we've defined enough. The story was really focused on that survivor and him dealing with this shallow existence. Apparently they're able to provide him with food so he can survive and stuff, but he can't leave. Everyone is just, again, all they are is their characters in the book, nothing beyond that. So it was kind of focused on him and focused on that. And the writer, Tracy Torme, he said that when his script was being rewritten, that there was, as he called it, a stupid rule that said episodes had to be about the main characters, which I don't think is a stupid rule. There are several episodes of several episodes of the original series with Captain Kirk that I think they aren't enough about our actual characters. They kind of focus on the guest actor, and it's like a showcase for that actor. And while sometimes that's okay, in general, I would rather watch an episode where it's about one of our characters or all of the characters and how the problem that they are running into affects them. So the script was rewritten to mainly focus on them. It also changed it to be more humorous, and again, I enjoyed that. I thought it was fun and funny. Thanks for watching.